Hey everybody! So TTC update time. So after my last little emotional update number one, which was actually really great because the comments that I got from that were fan-flippantastic about people who got exactly the weird, conflicting, crazy emotions that you have sometimes whenever you're doing this. And so I am filming this vlog on Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving today. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody who it pertains to in my neck of the woods over here. So I thought that was a good time for me to talk about the fact that I am so thankful that I have my two children. Having children is such a crazy thing because you love them to death, but they also can drive you crazy, and some days you're just like, are you serious right now? But the weird thing about kids, particularly once you have more than one, it seems like, but even with just the one, you can have such a range of emotions with them. You can be so frustrated and at the end of your ropes, and then an hour later you just look at them so fondly and you just are so happy they are part of your life. And you do that every day. Every day you have these crazy feelings of just, the bottom line is you love those kids in a crazy way, in a ridiculous way. And when you love something that much, or somebody that much, it's so weird. Sometimes I still don't feel like I'm a mom. And I know that's weird to say, but I don't feel like a mom. I'm like, whoa, I'm a mom, I have two kids. When did that happen? Like, it's so weird. I don't know, do you ever really feel like that? It's kind of like some people say you don't ever feel like you're old, you don't ever feel like you're growing up. And that's how I feel with being a mom. It's and it's not like in a because I want to shrug off my responsibilities way. It's not like that at all. It's in this like crazy way where it doesn't seem real. It's like, surely I cannot have two children, these two hilarious, wonderful things that I just want to pick up and give kisses to even when they're squirming because I just want to get down and go play. It's like, it's so surreal. It's surreal, but amazing. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm thankful that that is what I have. I'm thankful that I know what I want as much as I do, because we all don't always know exactly what we want. And sometimes what we want isn't what we need. Sometimes what we want isn't what we get. Sometimes what we get isn't what we want, and so on and so on. I'm thankful for the way things have turned out. No matter what happens from here on out, I have so much, and I don't mean just in a material way. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And it is that feeling that drives my desire to have more. I'm going to give you the wisdom of my elders here, in that my parents have two children, myself and my sister, who's 2 years younger than I am. Kyle's parents have two children. They have Lindsay and then Kyle. They're 13 months apart. Kyle was a surprise. I was a surprise for my parents as well, because my mother was told she could not have children. So after they had been married for 1 year, my mom thought she had the flu, and it turns out it was me. After they had me, the doctors told my mother that they better try to have any children they want to have as soon as possible, because for health reasons they didn't think she could, one, conceive another baby, and two, would be okay to carry it out. As it is, having children destroyed my mother's kidneys. They never were able to have more kids, even though they tried for years and years and years, and they did fertility treatments. They never got pregnant again. They almost adopted once and didn't, and I don't know all the story behind that, but Kyle's parents, they had the one, very much wanted her, very much planned her. Surprise, got pregnant with Kyle, were shocked, and immediately were like, okay, well that's it, we think. But now that my mom is older, Kyle's mom's older, both of them have told me before that they would have liked to have more children. My mom has told me that very specifically. We wanted more kids. I wish we'd had more kids. I love that we have you girls. I would love to have a bigger family. You know, she said now that she's older, it really hits home. Kyle's mom was more subtle about it. She's told me before, like, I think I would have liked another child. I would have liked to have the option of having another child. Sometimes she says, oh no, 2 was fine. But, so she's a little bit more subtle, but I can tell that that desire was there, because she, you know, she has said, one of the first times we talked about it, she had told me that, you know, she thought she would have liked to have more kids. So what I take from that is that if you are a family person, as you get older, you, in a way, I mean, I feel like I understand the importance of family right now, but I recognize that I'm also still youthful, I'm still young, I don't know everything, I'm still learning. And so I can respect the fact that when these people are older and then they're like, you know, wisdom of just experience, when they sit there and they earnestly tell me that we love these families, we wouldn't have minded more. And these are people who, you know, you've got one who thought they were content with having 2, one who desperately wanted more but just had the 2. So from 2 different kind of ways, they both saying that, it makes me think like, I am a family person, I do want more. So all that being said, I'm very, the whole point of that tangent there is just that I am like both of my moms. I'm like my mother and I'm like my mother-in-law. And the fact that they, at this older age, have talked about the benefits of having a bigger family, and it makes me, you know, even more determined that I want more than just the 2. So there we go. That's just a little bit of tidbit there of information from, you know, stuff I've gotten from people who are older than me, who know, you know, have lived life. And so that kind of helps you, helps me, I should say, in thinking about all of that. And so anyway, so I gotta tell you guys, so back to, just to circle back around, very thankful for what I have. I'm thankful. I feel like in my life, there are things that happen that are a struggle or that are hard, but if we always keep a positive face and we work hard, I feel like it, knock on wood, but I feel like it always works out. Sometimes it doesn't work out in the way we expected, but it always works out. Everything always ends up being okay. And I think that that's what helps me be who I am. Like, that's what makes me the way I am. You know, it's not like everything always works out for us, because there are things that haven't worked out perfectly, but they always end up perfect in some way after it's all said and done. And so, or you know what, maybe it's just that they're not always exactly perfect, but we make it the best of it and it ends up seeming perfect and right. So that's how I think that these silly, in the grand scheme of things, silly fears about like dealing with the challenges that come with a little baby are nothing compared to the bigger picture, you know, and kind of what I want in my particular life, which, you know, is different than what you might want. So all I can do is based on like what is good for me. And so yeah, there we go. There's that little philosophical moment there. Don't know where that came from, but there you go. So, okay. Our plan for TTCing is that I'm going to take the no plan approach, which is a little scary because, as I talked about in that very first like open discussion TTC vlog, the way that my cycles have always been, it would be hard for me to just fall pregnant. However, I have been so regular lately. Okay, so I got my cycle back when Grayson was only, I don't remember now, like 8 weeks old or something ridiculous. He was only nursed. He didn't have a bottle. Just nursed. Nursed baby, not even expressed with a bottle, like nursed baby, straight from the tap. I still got my period back. That's not even fair, but I did. However, you can get your cycle back and still not be really ovulating normally. And so I really don't think I actually ovulated until May, honestly. And the reason why is because before then I would have really long cycles in between, and I felt ovulation pain in May. And after that, I've been having normal cycles. So I think that's when I actually started to whatever. So I have been more regular than I think I've ever been in my entire life, which is great. And even this last cycle that I talked about in my previous vlog about how it was a weird cycle and like I ovulated later, I was still only like a 35-day cycle, which is way normal for me. I mean, what? So that's awesome. And so I think that I kind of just feel like, you know, that kind of gives me a little bit of like, all right. So basically, to come back to it, I think we're just going to try by not trying. I think I'm not going to tempt. I'm not going to pay attention to my chart. I say I'm not going to take ovulation tests. I might fold and take them because it's hard to resist, but I'm going to try not to. We're going to try to just go at this naturally, completely naturally. Not that the other ways that I'm doing it is not natural, because it's just, the other way of doing it is completely natural. The only thing is that it's just you being very aware of your body. So I think I'm not going to do that. Here's the scary thing about this. And so people who, you know, I know a lot of you out there are really lucky and you don't ever do any of that and you get pregnant fairly quickly, and that's so awesome. But there's a lot of people out there who maybe they need injectables or medicine or medical intervention, and then there's the people that are in between, like me, that just have really weird cycles and really weird ovulation patterns, and you just need to like figure out what's going on with your body to try to help your timing be a little bit better. So I think I'm just not going to do any of that, and that's kind of scary because I almost feel like we're wasting cycles, which, you know, we kind of are. So I talked to, you know, Kyle about that, about is it okay if we do it like that, and he was like, okay. He's like, as long as I promised that if we didn't get pregnant relatively soon, I would start paying attention again. Because, you know, Kyle does want to have this baby. He's ready to have the baby now, and he's just, you know, supporting me, but he also was like ready. You know, we're already having the children spaced farther apart than we would have originally intended, and so, yeah. So anyway, Kyle's like, yeah, that's fine, you know. So then, there we go. So that's that. So I think I'm not going to try, but I'm going to try. Does that make sense? We're not going to try, but we're trying. Okay? So it would be like a complete surprise. But we'll see, because I remember when I was trying to conceive with Grayson, I started the vlogs and I was like, we're pre-TTC, but no, we pretty much just went for it. I could not resist. Thank gosh we did too, because it ended up taking us, you know, not that long, but I mean, took us longer than I would have hoped. So no, you know, we were still lucky. It didn't take very long at all, but you guys know what I mean. It was just like, you know, I didn't ever have cycles then, so it was like I barely got the time to even try. And I used to talk about that before, about how I didn't like that I didn't even get the number of opportunities that the normal woman gets. A normal woman should get 12 times a year to try to get pregnant, and I will get like half of that. I get maybe 6 times a year to try to get pregnant, because that's how my cycles are. Until recently, now they've been regular, so yeah, hopefully. All right, so there we go. So I'm not trying, but we're trying. Oh, it's kind of scary. It's like crazy territory for me. I feel almost like rebellious, so we'll see how long I can keep that up. But there we go. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who it pertains to, and happy Thursday to everybody else. Bye guys.